Well, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. And I want to start by sharing a personal story that, while seemingly trivial, was a profound moment of realization for me. I remember the first time that I went to a really fancy restaurant and I was sort of on my own. And it was kind of like a job interview with a big media company. And when the waitress came around asking if anyone wanted desserts, I, oblivious to the setting, asked if they had any ice cream. The laughter that followed from everyone at the table was kind of bewildering, but to some extent enlightening. It was a moment of cultural clash, one that my late wife at the time, far more cultured than I, navigated with pretty much grace by opting for chocolate mousse instead. This incident was more than just a faux pas, right? It was a vivid illustration of the balancing act between rural social cultures and urban expectations, a theme that resonated with me pretty much throughout my entire adult life. You see, I don't come from a world of white Anglo Saxons and Protestants, WASPs, if you will. I come from South Texas, which is a melting pot of Hispanic migrants, Poles, and many other people, bounded by a shared history of evangelical Christianity, Catholicism, and Hispanic and Slavic traditions. So, born into rural South Texas, I was introduced early on to a binary world. You either have money or you don't. For most of these communities, the latter is the stark reality. Despite appearances, many come from families entrenched in a relentless cycle of farm debt or fluctuating incomes from the oil patch. Rich today, gone tomorrow. So welfare is not uncommon, and the education system, struggling under the weight of need, really, often fails to provide a ladder to climb out of this cycle. This backdrop is a larger narrative, a narrative that is stifled upward mobility. Now, upward mobility, it's the ability to move from one social class to another. This is the cornerstone of what we believe is to be the American dream. But for many rural kids, this dream is just that. It's a dream. Hindered by cycles of depression, family violence, alcoholism, things like this, these young people are often caught in the very traps that their families have struggled to escape for generations. This is a pervasive mindset of good is good enough, and this stifles ambition, suggesting, I think, that aspirations for a better life are in vain. One of the most significant challenges I think that we face is the brain drain in these communities. Those who find their way out, often through education or sheer determination, they rarely return. They take their talents to cities and different places, leaving behind a real void in the rural communities. Now, this exodus, it doesn't just deprive rural areas of potential leaders and innovators, but it reinforces the cycle of stagnation. The children of rural America struggle to access the social capital that they need for success. Social capital, the networks of relationships among people who live and work in a particular society. This is crucial for accessing opportunities. Yet many who could guide children and young people, including parents, local educators, and policymakers, they're unaware of opportunities such as financial aid at really major universities that are designed specifically for students from less affluent backgrounds. This lack of information is a repetitive cycle that keeps the dream of upward mobility just out of reach for most rural American children. Now, despite these challenges, I'm going to stand before you here today and not claim to know all of the answers. But I want to ignite a spark of optimism. What I believe is we're at a pivotal moment, one where the collective effort of communities, educators, policymakers, and everyday people can forge a new path for the kids that live in rural America. By investing in education, creating local opportunities that work, not just benefiting ourselves, and ensuring that information about opportunities reaches those who need it most, by doing all this, we can transform the landscape of rural America. Now, our goal should be to create environments where returning home is not a sign of failure, but rather a testament to the strength and resilience of our communities. We can foster, I believe, a new generation of rural children who not only dream of a better life, but also possess the tools to make those dreams a reality. Those tools are partly information. As we look to the future, I want us to remember that the strength of our world doesn't lie in just our cities alone, but in the vast, diverse rural heartland. By bridging the gap between rural and urban, we can ensure that every child, regardless of where they're born, has the opportunity to pursue the American dream. I think that together we should commit to rewriting the narrative for rural America and building a future where every child and every person can rise, no matter who they are or what their background is, not just in spite of the beginnings, but because of them. Thank you for your time.